ಸಮಾಜದ ಎಲ್ಲ ವರ್ಗದ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಮೌಲ್ಯಾಧಾರಿತ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಹರಡುವ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ಗುರುದೇವ್ ಶ್ರೀ ಶ್ರೀ ರವಿಶಂಕರ್ ಅವರು ಈ ಟ್ರಸ್ಟನ್ನು ಸ್ಥಾಪನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಂದು ಆರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ತನ್ನ 44ನೇ ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಗುರುದೇವರ ಸುಮಾರು 180 ದೇಶಗಳಿಗೆ ಹರಡಿದೆ. ಆರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ವತಿಯಿಂದ ಭಾರತದಾದ್ಯಂತ ಸುಮಾರು 1200ಕ್ಕೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಉಚಿತ ಶಾಲೆಗಳು ಕಾರ್ಯನಿರ್ವಹಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಹಾಗೂ ಶ್ರೀ ಶ್ರೀ ರವಿಶಂಕರ್ ವಿದ್ಯಾಮಂದಿರ ಟ್ರಸ್ಟ್ 1999ರಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಆಗಿ ಇವಾಗ ಸುಮಾರು 119 ಶಾಲೆಗಳನ್ನು ನಿರ್ವಹಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳು ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಮೌಲ್ಯಾಧಾರಿತ ಗುಣಮಟ್ಟದ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ನೀಡುತ್ತಾ ಶ್ಲಾಘನೀಯ ಕಾರ್ಯದ 25ನೇ ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾಲಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೇವೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋಕ್ಕೆ ತುಂಬ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ ಪಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಗುರುದೇವರ ಆಶೀರ್ವಾದ ಮತ್ತು ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನದೊಂದಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಅನೇಕ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹಳೆಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ನಮ್ಮ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯನ್ನು ತುಂಬ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ ಪಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ ಹಾಗೂ ಪೋಷಕರು ಕೂಡ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಸಂತೋಷದಿಂದ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸ್ತಾರೆ.
We are privileged to have the presence of Honorable Minister of State for Education, Dr. Subhash Sarkar, as our chief guest, and Honorable Minister Dr. Ramalinga Reddy, Minister of Transport and Mujray, Government of Karnataka, as our guest of honor.
ಸನ್ಮಾನ್ಯ ರಾಮಲಿಂಗಾರೆಡ್ಡಿ ಅವರು ಪ್ರಸ್ತುತ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಮುಜರಾಯಿ ಮತ್ತು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಇಲಾಖೆ ಇದನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ಕೋತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಶ್ರೀಯುತರು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ರಾಜಕೀಯದ ಆಧಾರ ಸ್ತಂಭವಾಗಿ ಸುಮಾರು 40 ವರ್ಷಗಳಿಂದ ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಪ್ರಗತಿಗೆ ಅಪಾರವಾಗಿ ಕೊಡುಗೆ ನೀಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಶಾಸಕರಾಗಿ ಸತತ 8ನೇ ಗೆಲುವು ಸಾಧಿಸಿರುವ ಅವರು ದಕ್ಷಿಣ ಭಾರತದ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಹಿರಿಯ ಮತ್ತು ಅನುಭವಿ ರಾಜಕಾರಣಿಗಳು. ತಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನದ ಬಹುಭಾಗವನ್ನು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಜನರ ಸೇವೆಗಾಗಿ ಮುಡಿಪಾಗಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸನ್ಮಾನ್ಯ ರಾಮಲಿಂಗಾರೆಡ್ಡಿ ಸರಳ, ವಿನಮ್ರ, ವಿಶ್ವಾಸಾರ್ಹ, ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿಯುತ ಮತ್ತು ಅನುಭವಿ ನಾಯಕರು. ಶ್ರೀ ಶ್ರೀ ರವಿಶಂಕರ್ ವಿದ್ಯಾಮಂದಿರ್ ಟ್ರಸ್ಟ್ 119 ಶಾಲೆಗಳು ನಡೆಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಸರ್. ನಮಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಟ್ರಸ್ಟ್ ವತಿಯಿಂದ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕ ಸ್ವಾಗತ ಸರ್.
I now invite the students from the Sri Sri Gurukul to give the ceremony an auspicious start with the chanting of Vedic mantras.
गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामवित्र्यवतु आनो दिवो बृहतः पर्वतादा सरस्वती यजता गन्तु यज्ञम् हवन् देवी जुजुषाना घृता चीषक्मान्नो वाचमुशती शृणोतु। ॐ वाग्देव्यै नमः। संगच्छध्वं संवदध्वं संवो मनांसि जानताम् देवा भागं यथा पूर्वे संजानाना उपासते समानो मन्त्रः समितिः समाने समानं मनः सह चित्तमेषाम् समानं मन्त्रमभिमन्त्रयेव समानेन वो हविषा जुहोमि समानीव आकूतिः समाना हृदयानि वः समानवस्तु वो मनो यथा वस्सु सहासति सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ
Thank you. We will now inaugurate the Shri Shri Awards for Education with the ceremonial watering of the Tulsi. The Tulsi plant, also known as the holy basil, is a symbol of profound cultural and religious importance in India, revered for its sacred qualities and extensive use in healing. I invite Mr. Ronald Leibscher-Bracht, Narsimhan Anna, Bhanu Didi, Honorable Minister Dr. Ramalinga Reddy, Honorable Minister Dr. Subhash Sarkar, Gurudev, and the Board of Trustees of the SSRVM Trust to join us for the watering of the Tulsi plant.
ತುಳಸಿ ಸಸ್ಯವನ್ನು ಪವಿತ್ರ ತುಳಸಿ ಅಂತಲೂ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಇದು ಆಳವಾದ ಸಂಕೇತ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಭಾರತದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಂಸ್ಕೃತಿಕ ಮತ್ತು ಧಾರ್ಮಿಕ ಪ್ರಾಮುಖ್ಯತೆ, ಚಿಕಿತ್ಸೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ವ್ಯಾಪಕ ಬಳಕೆ ಮತ್ತು ಅದರ ಪವಿತ್ರ ಗುಣಗಳಿಗಾಗಿ ತುಳಸಿಯನ್ನು ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಲ್ಲೂ ಪೂಜೆ ಮಾಡಲಾಗುತ್ತೆ.
I now invite the chairman of the Shri Shri Ravi Shankar Vidya Mandir Trust, Commodore H.G. Harsha, to deliver the welcome address.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Param Pujya Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankar Ji, Minister of State, Government of India for Education, Shri Subhash Sarkar Ji, Minister of Transport, Muzrai Affairs, Shri Ramalinga Reddy Ji, Chairperson of Women's Welfare, Author, Music Exponent, Director of Art of Living Free Schools, Srimati Bhanu Narasimhan Ji, Chairman of Vyakti Vikas Kendra India, Shri Prasanna Prabhu Ji, Mr. Roland Leibscher-Bracht, best-selling author, healer, and social media influencer, most respected Narsimhan Anna Ji, trustees of SSRVM, trustees of the Sisters Trusts of Art of Living, principals of the schools, teaching and the non-teaching staff, and my dear students, boys and girls. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to today's morning's program on the Shri Shri Awards conferment. As I stand before you, it's my privilege to state that the Shri Shri Ravi Shankar Vidya Mandir Trust today is entering into the 25th year of its existence. We have a huge legacy behind us, which is propelling us continuously to take this vision of Puja Gurudev forward. The Art of Living under the aegis of Puja Gurudev has numerous initiatives in the field of education. It has free schools for the underprivileged, contemporary schools associated with various boards of the country, schools in the tribals and disturbed areas, and Vedic schools under the umbrella of the Art of Living. Today, we have more than 1,200 free schools, 120 affiliated schools in the urban and the semi-urban areas, and a number of gurukuls in different ashrams across the country. While giving the basic education, Puja Gurudev has blessed all the children studying in our schools with Medha Yoga, Utkarsh Yoga, and the intuition process. A process which guides the students to lead a healthy, stress-free life with control over their emotions. More than 500,000 young minds who have benefited immensely in their ability to take the adversities in life and have excelled beyond their own expectations. We have more than 1 million happy parents who are amazed to see the evolution of their wards to become able and aware citizens of this country. Gurudev's pedagogy practiced in all our schools have a strong connect with ancient wisdom. This gives the students the unique ability to have a spiritual bent of mind from the very early years, which helps them to navigate through such stressful moments effortlessly. Our alumni have joined many Ivy League colleges across the globe and continue to excel in all fields. Celebrating this very aspect of pedagogy, the Sri Sri Ravi Shankar Vidya Mandir Trust, which runs more than 117 schools and 12 colleges and a university, chose to honor those schools and teachers outside the purview of our own schools who practice holistic education like us. After a rigorous process of selection today, we have invited the schools who have been bestowed with these awards to Bangalore for the Sri Sri Award conferments. This has become an annual event after we honored the educationists first time last year. This year, we have expanded the scope of awards to include teaching, nursing staff, and the Ayurvedic physician and teachers. It is our honest belief that it will motivate more schools and colleges to ensure that students learn human values and strive hard to take this country higher in the community of nations. I am confident that this wave will inculcate basic attributes of humanity and mindful awareness in our children, and they will grow up in leaps and bounds to develop the innovative bent of mind and who will convert the various startups into unicorns very soon. As we move out of our colonial mindset and embrace our ancient civilizational values, these aspects of education will stand good stead for all the young minds going through the portals of our illustrious institutions and colleges in the Sri Sri Ravi Shankar Vidya Mandir Trust. I am deeply grateful for Puja Gurudev to have graciously accepted our request to bless this event with his presence today. I once again welcome you all for the event and the award winners. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Your visionary leadership has propelled the trust to remarkable heights. I now invite Chairman SSRVM Trust, Commodore H.G. Harsha, to felicitate Gurudev Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. I now invite Commodore H.G. Harsha to felicitate the Chief Guest, Honorable Minister of State for Education, Dr. Subhash Sarkar.
ಮಾನ್ಯ ಸಚಿವರಾದಂಥ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ರಾಮಲಿಂಗಾರೆಡ್ಡಿ ಸಾರಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತು ಮುಜರಾಯಿ ಸಚಿವರು, ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಸರ್ಕಾರ, ಗೌರವಾನ್ವಿತ ಅತಿಥಿಗಳನ್ನು ಸನ್ಮಾನಿಸಲು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ವಿಕಾಸ್ ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಾದ ಶ್ರೀ ಪ್ರಸನ್ನ ಪ್ರಭು ಅವರನ್ನು ಆಹ್ವಾನಿಸ್ತಾರೆ.
I now invite Professor Rajita Kulkarni Baka, President Sri Sri University, to felicitate Srimati Bhanumati Narsimhan, Chairperson of Women's Welfare and Child Care Programs of the Art of Living. I now invite Shri Prasanna Prabhu, Chairman Vyakti Vikas Kendra India, to felicitate Mr. Roland Leipzig Bracht, best-selling author, healer, and social media influencer. Thank you. Now here are some glimpses of the educational initiatives of the Art of Living. I request the tech team to please play the video. I now invite Srimati Jayana Desai, trustee of the SSRVM Trust, to tell us a little bit more about the Shri Shri Awards for Education.
A very good morning to all of you, and what a lovely morning to be here together, isn't it? In the presence of Gurudev and all the respected dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, and especially with you amazing students from our schools. The Indian education system, as we all know, today services the largest population in the world and probably among the youngest populations. This system and Indian education needs heroes, needs role models. Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankar's entire life and work have been focused on human values, on compassion, care, commitment, and a connection between people and the planet, a sense of belongingness and a sense of oneness. These human values, this focus on mental health, on spirituality, is what is today spoken of in modern education as 21st century skills. But Gurudev has already instilled this in all our educational institutions since over 42 years, and we are indeed privileged to be part of this grand movement. The purpose of the Shri Shri Awards for Education is to felicitate and honor those institutions and individuals outside of the art of living who are in sync, in harmony with these values, and who are taking forward this grand and noble mission for education to our children, and in that sense to our country and to our nation. India is already on the cusp of emerging as a world superpower, and education and its role models will play a critical role in this. It is my great privilege and honor to have been part of this process to select among the thousands and thousands of applications that we received across the country for the Shri Shri Awards 2024, and select a few among you who have truly inspired generations and will in the future. With these few words, I would like to end, but once again, my immense gratitude to Gurudev for showing us the path, and to all of you students, teachers, parents, and our team here at SSRVM for being such a wonderful team that shows the world what is harmony and what education truly is. Thank you very much, and look forward to a wonderful morning.
Now we move on to the next segment of our program, the presentation of the Shri Shri Awards for Education 2024. The first set of awards will honor exemplary teachers from the 4 geographical zones of India, North, South, East, and West. These exceptional educators have touched countless lives through their unwavering dedication, passion, and transformative impact in the field of education.
ಗೌರವಾನ್ವಿತ ಸಚಿವರಾದ ರಾಮಲಿಂಗ ರೆಡ್ಡಿ ಅವರನ್ನು ಆಹ್ವಾನಿಸುವ ನಮ್ಮ ಸೌಭಾಗ್ಯ. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ತಾವು ವೇದಿಕೆಗೆ ಬಂದಿರುವ ಅವಾರ್ಡ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿರುವ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಕೊಡಬೇಕಾಗಿ ವಿನಂತಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ತೇವೆ.
The national education policy has brought in a plethora of changes, and Ms. Rashmi Srivastava, headmistress KIIT World School, Gurugram, Haryana, has gone above and beyond in her efforts to implement the NEP principles in fostering a holistic and educational approach. In recognition of her meritorious service and achievements in the field of education, the SSRVM Trust is delighted to present the Shri Shri Award for Best Teacher in the North Zone to Ms. Rashmi Srivastava. Educating students is one aspect, yet motivating them to return to school is an entirely different challenge. Dr. S. Krishnappa, Headmaster, Government Composite High School, Tumkur, Karnataka, played an instrumental role in curtailing several critical issues in the rural sector, like child labor in the fields and girl-child marriage. His holistic approach to teaching and service or seva aligns seamlessly with the spirit of the Shri Shri Awards. And we are delighted to present to him the Shri Shri Award for Best Teacher in the South Zone. Challenging circumstances, taking education to the rural heartland of India is no easy feat. Mr. Kaushal Kishore, the headmaster of Government Middle School, Bastiha Kala, Aurangabad, Bihar, has been instrumental in addressing social issues such as untouchability and the caste system within his school and the broader community. In recognition of his commitment to quality education and social reform, the SSRVM Trust is delighted to present the Shri Shri Award for Best Teacher in the East Zone to Mr. Kaushal Kishore. Under the astute guidance of Mr. Dattatreya Vare, Headmaster, Zilla Parishad Primary School, Jalandhar Nagar, Pune, Maharashtra, the school became the first ISO certified government school and international school by the Government of Maharashtra. His innovative approach includes self-learning, peer learning, and exposure to learning through personal tablets. In recognition of his steadfast commitment to the excellence of education, the SSRVM Trust is proud to present the Shri Shri Award for Best Teacher in the West Zone to Shri Dattatreya Vare. We received hundreds of applications from across the country, and this award merits special acknowledgement due to the noteworthy contributions of Dr. Shanta Radhakrishna from Bangalore. Her distinguished career dedicated to the rehabilitation of communication impaired individuals and her proactive contribution to enhance the educational levels of children with hearing impairment is highly commendable. In recognition of her exemplary work, the SSRVM Trust is delighted to present the Special Mention Award for Best Teacher to Dr. Shanta Radhakrishnan. In the present day, nursing and healthcare have emerged as vital vocations, requiring inspirational leaders to drive them forward. We are delighted to present the Shri Shri Award for Best Nurse Teacher to Dr. Sanjay M. Pirapur, Principal, KLES Institute of Nursing Sciences, Hubli, Karnataka. He embodies the principles of leadership, scholarship, and mentorship and fully deserves this recognition.
ಸನ್ಮಾನ್ಯ ರಾಮಲಿಂಗಾರೆಡ್ಡಿ ಅವರು ಸಭೆಯನ್ನು ಉದ್ದೇಶಿಸಿ ಒಂದೆರಡು ಮಾತಾಡಬೇಕಂತ ಕೋರ್ಕೊಳ್ತೇವೆ.
ಗೌರವಾನ್ವಿತ ಶ್ರೀ ರವಿಶಂಕರ್ ಗುರೂಜಿಗಳೇ, ಹಾಗೆ ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ವಿದ್ಯಾಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳಾದ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಸುಭಾಷ್ ಸರ್ಕಾರ್ ಅವರೇ, ಹಾಗೆ ವೇದಿಕೆ ಮೇಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಎಲ್ಲ ಗಣ್ಯರೇ, ಶ್ರೀ ರವಿಶಂಕರ್ ಗುರೂಜಿಯವರು ನಮ್ಮ ಜಯನಗರದವರೇ. ನಾನು ಕೂಡ ಮೊದಲು ಜಯನಗರದಲ್ಲೇ ಶಾಸಕನಾಗಿದ್ದು 42 ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಮುಂಚೆ. ಅವಾಗಿನ್ನೂ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ವಯಸ್ಸು ಅವರಿಗೆ. ಚಿಕ್ಕ ವಯಸ್ಸಲ್ಲೇ ಆಧ್ಯಾತ್ಮಿಕ ಕಡೆ ಒಲವು ಬಂದು ಈ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯನ್ನು ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಇನ್ ಇಸ್ ಎಂಗೇಜ್ ಈ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಸ್ಪಿರಿಚುವಲ್. ಎಲ್ಲರನ್ನೂ ಜನರನ್ನು ಸನ್ಮಾರ್ಗದಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಬೇಕು, ತಪ್ಪು ದಾರಿಲಿ ಹೋದವ್ರನ್ನ ಸರಿದಾರಿಗೆ ತರಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ಅವರು ರವಿಶಂಕರ್ ಗುರೂಜಿಯವರು ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯನ್ನು ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಮಾಡಿ, ನಾನು ಹಿಂದೆ ಅನೇಕ ಸಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿದ್ದರೂ ಕೂಡ ಆ ಮೈನ್ ಹಾಲ್ ಹತ್ರ ಬಂದು 1-2-3 ಸಲ ಬಂದು ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೆ. ಆದರೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ಒಳಗಡೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಭಾಳ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಮಟ್ಟ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಮಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ಇದೆ. ಇವತ್ತು ಬರೀ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಬೇರೆ ದೇಶಗಳಿಂದಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಬಂದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಧ್ಯಾತ್ಮದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಒಲವಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವರು ಮತ್ತು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲಿಯೋದನ್ನು ಮತ್ತು ಬಂದು ಕಲಿಸೋದನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂಥೇಳಿ. ಮತ್ತು ಆಧ್ಯಾತ್ಮಿಕದ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ನನಗೆ ಆಶ್ಚರ್ಯ ಆಯಿತು, ಸುಮಾರು 120 ಶಾಲೆಗಳನ್ನು ನಡೆಸೋದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ 1200 ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದ ಎಲ್ಲ ಭಾಗದಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಉಚಿತ ಶಾಲೆಗಳನ್ನು ನಡೆಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯಿತು. ಸುಮಾರು 1 ಲಕ್ಷಕ್ಕಿಂತಲೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿನಿಯರು ವ್ಯಾಸಂಗ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಈ ಆವರಣದಲ್ಲೇ ಸುಮಾರು 2000 ಜನ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಸುತ್ತಮುತ್ತಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಉಚಿತ ವಿದ್ಯಾಭ್ಯಾಸದ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಅವರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಸೌಕರ್ಯಗಳನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ವಿದ್ಯಾವಂತರನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. ಸುಮಾರು 70 ನದಿಗಳನ್ನು ಪುನಶ್ಚೇತನ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು, ಮತ್ತು ರೈನ್ ಹಾರ್ವೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗು, ಮತ್ತು ಸುಮಾರು 20 ಲಕ್ಷಕ್ಕಿಂತಲೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಈ ವ್ಯವಸಾಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಪರಿಣತಿಯನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಭಾಳ ಸಂತೋಷದ ವಿಚಾರ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿ, ಶ್ರೀ ರವಿಶಂಕರ್ ಗುರೂಜಿಯವರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ತಮ್ಮ ಸೇವೆ ಈ ಸಮಾಜಕ್ಕೆ ಭಾಳ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದು. ಸದಾ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಕೂಡ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆಲಿ ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ಕೂಡ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂಥೇಳಿ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆಶೀರ್ವಾದ ಎಲ್ಲರ ಮೇಲೂ ಇರಲಿ ಅಂಥೇಳಿ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು ಹೇಳಿ ನನ್ನ ಮಾತು ಮುಗಿಸ್ತೇನೆ.
So we will now see a short video about the trust. Thank you.
Education is this civilization's greatest leveler. It has the power to empower the weakest of the weak, bring peace to the world, and alleviate poverty. It is often seen as the only lit path in the pursuit of happiness. Gurudev Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, founder of the Art of Living, believes that every child deserves an education, where the goal of education is not just to make a living, but to make a life. Our students are provided with a holistic education that strikes a perfect balance between the ancient traditional culture and the modern world. The aim is to provide our students with 21st century skills like compassion, creativity, intuition, teamwork, and collaboration to become successful individuals in this ever-evolving world. Keeping this in mind, Gurudev has initiated various programs and educational institutions ranging from pre-primary to post-graduation to sow the seed early on and mold them into being better citizens of this world. The various education initiatives by Gurudev are the Free Schools of Art of Living. 1981 saw the inception of the first free Art of Living school. And today we have thousands of free schools under Ved Vignan Mahavidyapeeth Trust in the remotest areas across 22 states and more than 2,000 villages of India, providing a bright future for more than tens of thousands of underprivileged children and counting. The Art of Living also runs more than 30 tribal schools in the rural areas of our country under Vyakti Vikas Kendra, India.
गुरुदेव कहते हैं कि एजुकेशन इट इज़ नॉट अ टीचिंग प्रोसेस, इट इज़ अ लर्निंग प्रोसेस। तो इसको बहुत अच्छी तरीके से यहाँ पे ध्यान दिया जाता है। इसके कारण ये बच्चों में एक प्रभाव ऐसा बन गया है कि ये बच्चों जिस गांव से आते हैं, जिस घर से आते हैं, वहाँ पे भी बहुत बड़ा बदलाव हो रहा है। बहुत सारे पेरेंट्स ने बच्चों के कहने के कारण व्यसन छोड़ दी।
The SSRVM Trust is stepping into its silver jubilee year since its inception in 1999. SSRVM has set up more than 100 educational institutes with more than tens of thousands of students, thousands of educators, and thus far 500,000 graduates. It also has an international presence in Oman and Nepal. Long before the inception of the National Education Policy 2020, SSRVM schools stood at the forefront of educational innovation. Our commitment to progressive and holistic education was not just ahead of the curve, it was shaping the curve itself. About 25% of our students in India go to reputed institutions for higher education, that is 40%, much higher than the national average. Sri Sri Ravi Shankar Vidya Mandir also has the Sri Sri College of Ayurvedic Science and Research Hospital, which has garnered notable achievements showcasing its excellence and success in the field. An ISO 9001-2015 certified institution located in Bengaluru and Odisha. The Sri Sri University at Odisha, established in 2009, spread over 188 acres of land. Sri Sri University has attained significant milestones, demonstrating its commendable achievements. This distinctive institution blends the best of the Western innovation with the Eastern values and wisdom of the East. The Art of Living, through its wing of Vedic Dharma Sansthan, is reviving and preserving our ancient wisdom and practices by providing Vedic education to over 1,000 students in our 11 Gurukuls spread across 10 states in India. Education is not just about acquiring information, it is also about transforming oneself. To further empower our students with unique capabilities, the Art of Living offers 3 programs specially developed for all age groups by Gurudev. Utkarsh Yoga is meticulously designed exclusively for kids. The breathing techniques taught in the program give children those essential tools to overcome emotions such as fear, shyness, nervousness, anxiety, frustration, and jealousy easily. Medha Yoga focuses on empowering teams with tools that help them take the right decisions, focus better, be more responsible about oneself, kindle a sense of belonging, and channelize their energy in the right direction. Intuition programs enables the kids to perceive beyond the five senses and delve into the sixth sense. Intuition is the right thought at the right action at the right time. These programs help in shaping the personality of the individual from their very core. Gurudev's vision is to develop not just the intelligence quotient, but also the emotional and spiritual quotient of our children, allowing students to lead a wholesome and fulfilling life.
From kindergarten up to the university to PhD level, we have provided a platform for children to blossom and be great citizens of our beautiful planet.
Education is this civilizing.
Wasn't that amazing? This is just a drop in the ocean of the work that Gurudev is doing in the field of education. Let's have another round of applause. Yoga is not just about enabling the body to become healthy. It plays a significant role in culturing the mind and the heart. Regular practice of yoga and meditation enable our students to reach their highest potential. In the splendid environment of the Sri Sri School of Yoga, it is fitting that we showcase an impressive presentation of yoga asanas performed by the students from SSRVM.
ಈಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನ ವಿದ್ಯಾರಣ್ಯಪುರ ಶಾಖೆಯ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಂದ ಯೋಗ ಪ್ರದರ್ಶನ.
Thank you, students. It is my great honor to invite the chief guest, Honorable Minister of State for Education, Dr. Subhash Sarkar, to present the next set of awards. We are delighted to present the next award for Ayurveda. The contributions of the art of living in the field of Ayurveda have been immense, and the organization has successfully spread the system of natural and holistic healing around the globe. We are proud to confer the title Bhishak Shri in the Vaidya category to Dr. P.L.T. Girija, Vaidya at Sanjeevani Ayurveda and Yoga Center, Chennai, Tamil Nadu, which she founded in the year 1990. She has made outstanding contributions to Ayurveda through her research and clinical practice, and she is playing an active role in addressing malnutrition and anemia among poor children in different states through the Jeevani program. Congratulations, ma'am.
ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಸುಭಾಷ್ ಸರ್ಕಾರ್, ರಾಜ್ಯ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಮಂತ್ರಿ, ಭಾರತ ಸರ್ಕಾರ, ತಾವು ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಪ್ರಶಸ್ತಿ ಪ್ರದಾನ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀನಿ.
The next category is the School Awards. The first subcategory within this award is for holistic education. The art of living emphasizes overall holistic education, which goes beyond academic excellence. The SSRVM Trust is pleased to recognize Bloomingdale's International School, Sri Ganganagar, Rajasthan, as the runner-up for the Sri Sri Award for Holistic Education 2024. There is a strong emphasis on character building, and the students are provided with courses that are specifically aimed at enhancing their well-being, emotional intelligence, and overall happiness. The social welfare initiatives stand as evidence of the school's motto, "We rise by lifting others." Congratulations.
ಹಾರ್ದಿಕ ಶುಭಾಶಯಗಳು ತಮಗೆ.
The SSRVM Trust is pleased to honor Sadhu Vaswani International School, Hyderabad, as the winner for the category of Sri Sri Awards for Holistic Education 2024. This school conducts notable initiatives such as organizing donation camps, participating in the gift of forgiveness, feeding animals, donating hair for cancer patients, visiting orphanages, and supporting blind schools for girls. These initiatives bear testimony not only to the school's philosophy for promoting seva, but also ensuring that the students imbibe culture, compassion, character, and courage. Congratulations.
ಹಾರ್ದಿಕ ಶುಭಾಶಯಗಳು ನಮ್ಮ SSRVM ಟ್ರಸ್ಟ್ ವತಿಯಿಂದ.
We now move on to the final and most awaited subcategory, Overall Excellence in Education. These awards are being presented to schools that bring together academic excellence as well as extracurricular achievements, fostering well-rounded development among students. The SSRVM Trust is delighted to recognize Dayanand Arya Vidya Public School in Delhi as the runner-up for the award for Overall Excellence in Education 2024. The emphasis on academic excellence is evident through regular audits and active participation in programs initiated by the government. Initiatives such as herbal gardens, Chetna Shibers, various sports activities, and its offering of a wide variety of subjects for students enrich the lives of the students.
Blended beautifully with sports, art, theatre, and fine arts to make it a complete package. I am
Congratulations.
Mrs. Ravi Biswal, Principal DAV Public School, Pushpanjali Enclave, Prikampura, Delhi. I belong to a 37-year-old organization which is very traditional in its outlook and equally.
The SSRVM Trust is proud to announce Army Public School, Noida, Uttar Pradesh as the winner of the Award for Overall Excellence in Education 2024. The ethos of this school is characterized by a strong sense of discipline, patriotism, and values such as integrity, leadership, and a sense of duty among students. The school follows a structured routine and sets high standards of behavior. With a strong emphasis on academics, the school's curriculum is designed to challenge students' capabilities by enhancing critical thinking, creativity, and problem-solving abilities. Congratulations.
ಹಾರ್ದಿಕ ಶುಭಾಶಯಗಳು DAV ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್.
I am delighted to invite the guest of honor, Honorable Minister of State for Education, Dr. Subhash Sarkar, to share a few words with us. I would like to take this opportunity to mention that the Honorable Minister is a gynecologist who has delivered over 40,000 babies.
ಗುರು ಚರಂಗಲಿಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರಣಾಮಗಳು. ಗುರು చరణనికి నా వందనాలు. குருவின் சரணத்தில் என நமஸ்காரங்கள். குருவி பதங்களில் நான் நமஸ்காரிக்கின்னும். Pranam, namaskar to all, warm greetings to all. Gurudev, श्री रवि शंकर जी, सब ताली तो बजाना चाहिए ना. फिर से तालियां का घरघराट इतना होना चाहिए, आवाज बहुत दूर तक जाना चाहिए. गुरुदेव श्री रवि शंकर जी. गुड. our chairperson, Art of Living, Women and Child, Vanumati Narsimhan ji. है ना? हाँ. Our minister, he has left the session, Dr. Ramalinga Reddy, who was present. And, right. Would you like to be a bestseller author? Who are? Raise the hand. Very good. Amongst us, there is one best-selling author of Healer, M. Roland Liebescher Bracht. Our chairman, SSRVM Trust, Commander H.J. Harsaji. Sri Prasanna Prabhu, Chairman, Vyakti Vikas Kendra. All the awardees who are present here on this occasion, friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen, I am delighted to be present here at the Sri Sri Awards for Education by Sri Sri Ravi Shankar Vidya Mandir Trust. On this momentous occasion, I would like to extend my heartfelt congratulations to all the awardees. I am really very glad and at the same time emotionally at some level, especially to meet with Gurudev Sri Sri Ravi Shankar ji, who is a world-renowned humanitarian and spiritual leader. Gurudev has spearheaded an unprecedented worldwide movement for a stress-free society and promoted yoga, especially meditation, globally. I am glad to say that Gurudev has developed unique, impactful program that empower, equip, and transform individuals to tackle global, national, community, and individual challenges also. Dear all, I would like to share a sloka from Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Nahi jnanena shadrisham pavitramiha vidyate tat swayam yoga samsiddham kalenatmani vindati. It means that in this world there is nothing as purifying as divine knowledge. One who has attained purity of mind through the prolonged practice of yoga receives such knowledge within the heart in due course of time. They are all, Srimad Bhagavad Gita speaks about the nature of things. It speaks about humanity, reality, and our place in that reality. Again, I am telling, and our place in that reality, as well as the actions we are to take to find wisdom and the happiness also. Knowledge has the power to sanctify, to elevate, to liberate, and to unite a person with divinity. For the upliftment of any individual, his roots must be strong, and to conserve these roots, one should know about the traditional Indian knowledge system. The great legacy of these traditions encompasses the concepts, principles, and theories to guide people in having a meaningful and satisfying life. The treasure preserved in numerous texts and practices in unique in its scope as it addresses life's goal at physical social, and spiritual level of existence. Dear all, our Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji stated that there is a need of incorporate ancient Indian knowledge in today's educational system. Bharat is a country that has a long, rich, and prosperous history of diverse traditions and institution of knowledge. Friends, yoga is an invaluable heritage of our culture. As said, Sharira Madhyam Khalu Dharma Sadhanam. That is, the body is the only means to fulfill all the duties. Though through yoga, we can live life with a healthy body and happy mind. Friends, according to spiritual texts, by doing yoga, one's consciousness, again I am telling, one's consciousness gets connected to the consciousness of the universe. Due to its effect, there is a feeling of complete harmony between mind and body, and between humans and nature. As a result of this effort, a health revolution started all over the world, and the trend to adopting yoga in our daily life increased. Friends, due to the tireless efforts of our Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji, United States of General Assembly has declared International Yoga Day on 21st June. Dear all, the word art refers to skill and living, to a manner of life. And I am glad to say, under the guidance of Gurudev Sri Ravi Shankar ji, the art of living has made yoga applicable to modern times. I would like to say to all of you that this worldwide acceptance of yoga is a matter of pride for our country. We all should make yoga a part of our daily routine. Moving forward, I would like to say that the National Education Policy 2020, with much awaited reforms, aims to build a 21st century India, embracing new learning paradigms and technology, practically, which was being done so many years back by these institutions run by this Sri Ravi Shankar ji's trust, and this by art of living. The main focus is given to the holistic development of learners, equipping them with the key 21st century skills and enhancing essential learning and critical thinking. The NEP 2020 stresses the empowerment of teachers is critical to future of the country. Teachers must be grounded in values, languages, knowledge ethos, and traditions, and at the same time must also be well versed in the advancement in education and pedagogy. NEP aims to achieve the best motivated, energized, and capable faculty of higher education institutions towards advancing students, institutions, and professionals. It aims to meet existing challenges in education and build the foundation of India's promising future. The vision of the national education policy is to promote multilingualism and multidisciplinary, value-based, holistic education for all. Dear all, as our Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji said, the new national education policy, will show the seeds for starting a new era and will give a new direction to 21st century India. I congratulate the awardees for their outstanding efforts in the field of education. The exceptional contributions they have made to education have not only raised standards, but also profoundly affected countless lives. ताली तो बजना चाहिए. Their accomplishment demonstrate a deep commitment to fostering knowledge, promoting growth, and leaving a lasting impact on the educational landscape. अंत में सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिना सर्वे सन्तु निरामय सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःख भाग भवेत्. Thank you all. भारत माता की जय.
Thank you, esteemed Minister, for your inspiring remarks. Now I would like to invite Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankar to share his Ashirvachan.
ಪೂಜ್ಯ ಗುರುದೇವರು ಆಶೀರ್ವಚನ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂತ ವಿಜ್ಞಾಪಿಸ್ತೀನಿ.
ओम नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्ध ज्ञानैकमूर्तिके निर्मलाय प्रशांताय दक्षिणामूर्तिके नमः. गुरु मौन में आशीर्वाद देते हैं, सबका संशय दूर हो जाता है. आज मैं वही करने वाला हूँ. हमारे आदरणीय डॉक्टर सुभाष सरकार जी ने बहुत विस्तार से बताया कैसे देश की जो सिविलाइजेशन है उसको जब तक हम रेस्पेक्ट नहीं करते हैं तो जीवन में प्रगति नहीं हो सकती है. तो आप सब लोग आगे बढ़ते रहो. सबको बहुत बहुत आशीर्वाद, बहुत बहुत प्रेम. और हमारे सारे ट्रस्टी लोग दिन रात मेहनत कर रहे हैं और इनका जो उद्देश्य यही है कि मेरा पराया नहीं, सब एक है. तो इसलिए अपना एक स्कूल तो ये एक है, बाकी सारे स्कूल भी हमारे अपने ही हैं. इस भाव से हम आगे चल रहे. मैं इतना ही कहूँगा कि हमारा वॉइस थोड़ा आज स्ट्राइक मूड में है. तो इसलिए ओम शांति.
Thank you, Gurudev, for blessing and inspiring us. As we conclude the award ceremony, my heartfelt gratitude goes out to Gurudev for being our inspiration and guiding force and empowering us to extend education to diverse corners of the country. I thank the trustees of Vyakti Vikas Kendra India, Shri Shri Publications Trust, Shri Shri School of Yoga, Shri Shri Rural Development Program Trust for taking the time to join us and contributing to the success of the event. I also want to extend my heartfelt thanks to Chairman of SSRVM Trust, Commodore Harshaji, and the Board of Trustees of the SSRVM Trust for their vision and guidance every step of the way. On behalf of the SSRVM Trust, I extend profound thanks to the distinguished jury members for their dedicated efforts in the past few months. Finally, I would like to thank the trust team and everyone who played a part in orchestrating this event. I now invite you all to rise for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा। विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा। तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे। गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
I request the dignitaries to remain on the dais for a group photograph with the awardees. I request the awardees to proceed towards the dais. Thank you. I request the awardees to please come up on the dais for a group photograph. I request everyone else to remain seated. All the awardees, please come up on stage. I request the others to remain seated. Thank you. Before continuing the next segment of the program, a fascinating panel discussion on the impact of artificial intelligence on education, I kindly ask the dignitaries, trustees and awardees to take a moment to step out of the hall for a cup of tea. I request you to be back in 10 minutes. Meanwhile, I would appreciate if the students would remain seated in their designated places. Thank you.
It is often seen as the only lit path in the pursuit of happiness. Gurudev Sri Ravi Shankar, founder of the Art of Living, believes that every child deserves an education, where the goal of education is not just to make a living, but to make a life. Our students are provided with a holistic education that strikes a perfect balance between the ancient traditional culture and the modern world. The aim is to provide our students with 21st century skills like compassion, creativity, intuition, teamwork, and collaboration to become successful individuals in this ever-evolving world. Keeping this in mind, Gurudev has initiated various programs and educational institutions ranging from pre-primary to post-graduation to sow the seed early on and mold them into being better citizens of this world. The various education initiatives by Gurudev are the Free Schools of Art of Living. 1981 saw the inception of the first free Art of Living school. And today we have thousands of free schools under Ved Vignan Mahavidyapith Trust in the remotest areas across 22 states and more than 2,000 villages of India, providing a bright future for more than tens of thousands of underprivileged children and counting. The Art of Living also runs more than 30 tribal schools in the rural areas of our country under Vyakti Vikas Kendra, India.
गुरुदेव कहते हैं कि एजुकेशन इट इज़ नॉट अ टीचिंग प्रोसेस, इट इज़ अ लर्निंग प्रोसेस। तो इसको बहुत अच्छी तरीके से यहाँ पे ध्यान दिया जाता है। इसके कारण ये बच्चों में एक प्रभाव ऐसा बन गया है कि ये बच्चों जिस गांव से आते हैं, जिस घर से आते हैं, वहाँ पे भी बहुत बड़ा बदलाव हो रहा है। बहुत सारे पेरेंट्स ने बच्चों के कहने के कारण व्यसन छोड़ दी।
The SSRVM Trust is stepping into its silver jubilee year since its inception in 1999. SSRVM has set up more than 100 educational institutes with more than tens of thousands of students, thousands of educators, and thus far 500,000 graduates. It also has an international presence in Oman and Nepal. Long before the inception of the National Education Policy 2020, SSRVM schools stood at the forefront of educational innovation. Our commitment to progressive and holistic education was not just ahead of the curve, it was shaping the curve itself. About 25% of our students in India go to reputed institutions for higher education, that is 40%, much higher than the national average. Sri Ravi Shankar Vidya Mandir also has the Sri College of Ayurvedic Science and Research Hospital, which has garnered notable achievements showcasing its excellence and success in the field. An ISO 9001-2015 certified institution located in Bengaluru and Odisha. The Sri University at Odisha, established in 2009, spread over 188 acres of land. Sri University has attained significant milestones, demonstrating its commendable achievements. This distinctive institution blends the best of the Western innovation with the Eastern values and wisdom of the East. The Art of Living, through its wing of Vedic Dharma Sansthan, is reviving and preserving our ancient wisdom and practices by providing Vedic education to over 1,000 students in our 11 Gurukuls spread across 10 states in India. Education is not just about acquiring information, it is also about transforming oneself. To further empower our students with unique capabilities, the Art of Living offers 3 programs specially developed for all age groups by Gurudev. Utkarsh Yoga is meticulously designed exclusively for kids. The breathing techniques taught in the program give children those essential tools to overcome emotions such as fear, shyness, nervousness, anxiety, frustration, and jealousy easily. Medha Yoga focuses on empowering teams with tools that help them take the right decisions, focus better, be more responsible about oneself, kindle a sense of belonging, and channelize their energy in the right direction. Intuition programs enables the kids to perceive beyond the five senses and delve into the sixth sense. Intuition is the right thought at the right action at the right time. These programs help in shaping the personality of the individual from their very core. Gurudev's vision is to develop not just the intelligence quotient, but also the emotional and spiritual quotient of our children, allowing students to lead a wholesome and fulfilling life.
From kindergarten up to the university to PhD level, we have provided a platform for children to blossom and be great citizens of our beautiful planet.
Please do not get your cup of tea inside this hall. Yeah, please go out. Yeah, you need to put it in the trash bin and come in. Yeah, people who have
I request everyone to assemble back in their seats. We are going to start with
Hall, check one. Hall, hey, hall, check two.
quickly. Okay, so we will now begin the panel on the impact of artificial intelligence on education. Promises to be a very interesting panel. So I am pleased to welcome Shri Rajesh Krishnamurthy, Chief Growth Officer of Sumeru Software Solutions, to lead and moderate this panel. Let's have a huge round of applause. An alumnus of IIT Mumbai and IIM Lucknow, Rajesh ji has over 25 years of experience in the software industry. The floor is open to you, Rajesh ji.
I would like to welcome all the panelists onto the stage. Professor Ramakrishnan, Professor Shashi Kumar, Professor Anup Krishnan, Shri Ravi Chandranji, Dr. Petra Bracht, and Mr. Roland Bracht.
I request the students to maintain silence. The panel has started.
Welcome everybody to the panel on artificial intelligence and its impact on education. Everybody is now familiar with the term artificial intelligence, but it is moving at such a fast pace that we need to take inputs from people who are in the field, who have been using it practically, who've been studying it academically, to get a grip of what are the various effects and ramifications of this technology. And that is the purpose of this panel. Today we will try to make it as practical as possible for all the audience. Because the subject is so vast and it has many philosophical implications, we could look far into the future, but because our audience today is largely teachers, parents, educators, and some NGOs, we want to see how we can make this practically useful to all of you. And to this end, we have a distinguished panel, a fantastic panel. And I will introduce them one by one. I will request them to share 2 minutes from their perspective, a free-flowing view of AI in education. And once each of them has done that, we will have interactive questions. And at the end, for about 10 to 15 minutes, we will throw some questions open for the audience to ask. That's the plan. We expect about an hour or so of engaging discussions with our distinguished panel here today. First up, I would like to invite Professor A.G. Ramakrishnan.
I invite Ajay Kimji to felicitate, sir.
Professor Ramakrishnan is an adjunct faculty at the Department of Heritage Science and Technology at IIT Hyderabad. He recently retired as a senior professor of electrical engineering and Center for Neuroscience from the Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. He has received the Manthan Award from Southeast Asia and Asia Pacific, not once but twice, for creating Braille and audio books for blind students through his OCR and TTS technologies. He specializes in areas of research in speech recognition, particularly in Indic languages, decoding of imagined words from EEG, brain functional connectivity analysis in modified states of consciousness, the study of physiological mechanisms behind the health and therapeutic effects of deep breathing. All in all, an extremely formidable personality. May I request you, sir, to share 2 minutes to begin with of your views.
Very good morning and thanks, Rajesh. Like you said, it's a very vast topic, and you can use it for anything. Like electricity, you can use for anything. We're talking with that, and light and everything and so on. So similarly, artificial intelligence today is the completely removing the language barrier in India or maybe in Europe, because translation and speech recognition, speech synthesis technologies have almost, evolved and are usable already. And in the case of education, of course, that is also education, because when you can learn other languages, in the case of education, it can improve online learning, ongoing learning of the teachers as well as students. Vivekananda said the main purpose of education is to make the people aware of ongoing learning and by learning by themselves. So all of this can be done by this thing. One of the things is it's a very, very powerful thing. Like nuclear energy is very powerful, but you can use it for, both destruction and construction. So AI also can be used for many, 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 many useful things. So in my world, the most important thing is to educate people and transform their consciousness. So all these powerful tools will be used for betterment of humanity. So I don't want to talk more, depending on the questions, I think I will handle this. Yeah, one more thing I want to say is, this AI is like a catch term now. People are using it for everything. And there are 3 things I will say in AI. One is researchers who design new AI algorithms. That requires a very high level of learning, of very deep mathematics. So that is first level. You create new algorithms. And then there is a field where you use these algorithms and design specific application technologies, like whatever I said, translation or speech recognition, speech synthesis, or, there are also generative AI algorithms which can generate text and so on. And then the third thing is make use of all these technologies and create specific applications. Like, recently the Indian PM used a technology as he was speaking. It was translated from Hindi to Tamil, and people could hear it online. So the third one requires more of computer technologies, the knowledge of the latest languages, maybe operating systems on mobiles and things like that. So there are different things, and depending on that, where you are putting yourself, there are different skills and different uses and different backgrounds needed for picking up AI. Thank you.
I request Christopher Clauser, CEO TLX Institute, to felicitate Professor A.G. Ramakrishnan. Thank you, sir, for being here.
Professor Ramakrishnan touched on the subject of the different levels of AI. We will go into that as we probe further into the panel. Next up, I would like you all to welcome Professor Sasikumar Ganeshan. Professor Sasikumar Ganeshan is from the Department of Computational and Data Sciences at Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. He's the founder of Zentech EdTech Private Limited, which is a deep tech startup incubated at Indian Institute of Science. His research group, Scientific Machine Learning and Operations, which he calls STARS, is at the forefront of integrating scientific computing with machine learning. If you go on to his website, you will find that he has taught machine learning and artificial intelligence to more than 1,000 students already. Eminently qualified to talk about the subject of the panel today, may I welcome you, Sashi, to share a couple of minutes.
Good afternoon. Thank Thank you, Rajesh, for your kind words. And first of all, thank you all for passionately listening, right? That's also, especially with the school kids, right? What we expect is even more noise. So thank you all. And especially before the lunch session, it's even more difficult for the panelists to continue, right? Hopefully we will be able to convince, and then we will be able to give a fruitful dishes for you, your ears and your minds. Given that, right? So when you talk about the artificial intelligence, right? This is what I always start with, right? Artificial intelligence, when you talk about it, it's nothing but we want to simulate or we want to mimic what the human being can do, right? So it's nothing but we want the system or any programming tool to do what human beings can do, right? It's a simulation of human beings. This is what we want to build over a period of time. Of course, we want to build it in a much faster and efficient and so on, but it's all about we want the computer to act like a human being, or even more sometimes like a very fast and so on. So in order to build any artificial intelligence system, what we really need is the human intelligence. So we should not forget, right, in the era or in the phase of artificial intelligence, we should not forget to develop our human intelligence, right? So when you talk about the human intelligence, right, first we need to develop those things, then only you'll be able to create it artificially. So to create the human intelligence, what we really need is the knowledge, right? So the knowledge comes from reading, learning, right? So those are very important, especially when you're in the school kids. Whatever you learn during the school days, right? You might be in the 4th standard, 5th standard, 10th, or even the K-12, right? But whatever you learn these days, right? The curiosities, questions that you ask, all these things are very important. That makes you more intelligent, right? No intelligent people is born, but it's made over a period of time. So for me, in order to become an artificial intelligence expert, or if at all you want to explore your career in the direction of artificial intelligence, please develop the human intelligence. Human intelligence comes only by asking questions. And you should ask a lot of questions in the classes or wherever you learn. Curiosity, even when you're walking out of this auditorium, you should ask why the landscape is in such a way, why can't the other way? It's always ask why, what, and how, right? Then it makes you human being more and more intelligence. So develop your creative thinking, intelligence level, then definitely you will be able to become a superpower, super intelligence. And the artificial intelligence will aid you to make even more better person or better enabler. So you no need to chase behind the artificial intelligence. You just chase your human intelligence. Artificial intelligence will chase you.
I invite Ajay Kimji to come and felicitate Professor Shashi Kumar Ganeshan. Request Kamal Kimji to come and felicitate Dr. Professor Shashi Kumar Ganeshan.
Very interesting what Professor Shashi said, that you follow human intelligence, artificial intelligence will follow you. Reminds me of one of Gurudev's quotes: if you follow wisdom, fun follows you. If you follow fun, misery follows. I would like to now welcome Dr. Petra Bracht and Mr. Roland Liebscher Bracht. They have been at the forefront of developing a new pain therapy since 1986, which has been able to help with most pain, especially in the musculoskeletal system, in a completely natural way. Since 2007, they have trained over 13,000 doctors and physiotherapists in Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. Not just that, since 2009, they have published 22 books on the subject of self-help for pain and healthy eating in 7 languages. Dr. Petra has also specialized in nutrition medicine and intermittent fasting. And she is the author of the bestseller book, Intermittent Fasting. You should look it up. Their aim is for as many people as possible to take their health into their own hands. Now, what does all this have to do with AI and education, you might be wondering? They have a followership of 2 million on YouTube today. 590,000 people on TikTok. 730,000 followers on Instagram. 630,000 on Facebook. And 130,000 in Pinterest and other social media. And they use AI in these social media platforms to practically spread and talk about what they know. I spoke earlier about combining academic and practical in our panel. They will provide the practical aspect to some extent about how AI fits into education. 2 minutes, Mr. Roland and Dr. Pratt.
Okay, thanks a lot. At first, we are very honored and glad to be here. Deeply impressed since 1 year, last year in January, well, first time here, and I directly fall in love with this place here, and with Rishi and all of you, which I know now. And yeah, we did a quite good job in the German language until now, but all the time I thought, oh shit, too less time to do all the work which is necessary. Why are they not able to clone myself? But they did not do it in a good way, and so no solution. And now we have a very good awareness in the German-speaking countries. But we want to do more because we have one vision, and the vision is to help to make the world free of pain. And we know that in most cases, it's not a big work, it's only the knowledge we have to spread, how to do some exercises. We found out that the mostly pain is because of a too high tension of the muscles and fascias. And so if you know that, and if you know the exercises, how to deal with this situation, then you can bring away the pain, even if there is arthrosis in the joints or broken disc. Doesn't matter. The pain is able to be away. And so I think you are also of my opinion, the whole world have to know this. But my German is very good. My English, okay, not so good, has to be better. But all the other languages, at least Hindi, yeah, how to speak Hindi, I don't know how to learn. And now, since 5 years more or less, I told my people, please be very aware what's going on with the artificial intelligence. Because if there is a possibility, we have directly to use it to go in all the other languages on YouTube. And we watched it for about 5 years, and as I remember well, 2 years ago, 1.5 years ago, the first little programs came out of US, as I remember. And we watched it very good, and now, because the time is not so much, I make it short. Now we have in our company a special Abteilung. Some people who are very good in dealing things like that. And now we are able, I speak French, I speak Italian, I speak Japanese. Yeah, and soon I will speak Hindi, really, really. But it's more, it's going also one level up, but maybe later when we talk about it. Yeah, okay. So for me, thanks a lot for your listening.
So, thanks a lot for the invitation. It's a big honor for us. Thanks a lot, and thanks a lot for you to be here and to hear what we are saying. Maybe it's a little bit interesting. So, I'm his wife, and this since 40 years. And we really developed this pain therapy together, and it was a great pleasure also for me, because if in truth he is the one who has all the thoughts and ideas how it can work. But now a short part for me, only 2 minutes, I will try it really. I am a medical doctor, And I studied medicine because I hope to be able to use this knowledge to heal sick people. The truth is, I wanted to help my seriously ill mother. She had heart diseases and a strong diabetes. But in the first semester of my studies medicine, I could not help her and she died. It's a long, long time ago. However, working in the hospital and in my own practice with what I've learned during my studies showed me that I was actually just trying to combat symptoms. But I wanted to combat the causes of diseases development. Thank God I found nutritional medicine and at the same time the wonderful effects of intermittent fasting. Because during my studies, I learned nothing about nutrition. Can you imagine this? I do not know how it functions here in India, but in Germany and in a lot of European countries, they don't even yet learn nothing about nutrition. But today, 40 years later, I know about the enormous power of nutrition. How sick it can make if you use bad nutrition, but I know that a good nutrition, and a good nutrition for me means a plant-based diet, can make sick people healthy again. And a healthy diet and intermittent fasting are part of pain therapy because a healthy diet reduces excessive muscle tension and therefore also helps to eliminate pain. And therefore, I'm so happy that AI exists, that we can translate all our knowledge in all, I do not know how many languages exist, but they can do it. And therefore, I'm very thankful. Okay, that's...
Thank you. I request Jyoti Harsha ji to felicitate the Bracht couple. Thank you, Jyoti ji.
Mr. Ravi is a chartered accountant and the founder of Smriti Academy, Flored's Academy. And he is also the chairperson of E-Vidyaloka Trust, an NGO that is into remote education for rural children in India. E-Vidyaloka currently operates digital classrooms and teaches through mobile apps and through television in 625 villages across 14 states and teaches 150,000 children live. The television program today reaches 2.5 crore children. He is an independent director of Ujjivan Small Finance Bank, provides microfinance to the underserved in India. He is also the resident director of Outpost VFX UK, a leading entertainment technology company. And earlier, he was the senior vice president and chairman of HP in India and also the managing director of ANZ Bank. Mr. Ravi, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Rajesh. And thank you for having me over today. It's an honor. For me, as Professor Shashi said, human intelligence, which is the natural intelligence and artificial intelligence, will coexist. And they will coexist at the intersection of what I call of 4 Ps, which are people, planet, petadata, and profits. So the 4 Ps will intersect somewhere, and at these intersections, both artificial intelligence and human intelligence will exist. And I think that those of you who are worried, and as he said, whether the jobs will go, need not get worried actually. Because we will coexist, and human intelligence, you chase human intelligence, and AI will chase you. And that's definitely true. What he says is definitely true. We have seen this in our application of technology, where we have reached far-flung villages, mainly tribal villages across the country, and reached places where there are very few roads, reached into dense jungles as well. And I think technology and artificial intelligence is a part of that, will play a huge role in nation building. And once we are aware of the good uses of both AI as well as technology in general, we are going to see a much better society. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I invite Kavita Khanna ji to felicitate Shri Ravi Chandran ji.
So the 4 Ps, people, planet, petabyte, and profits. Join me now in welcoming Professor N.M. Anup Krishnan. He's an associate professor at IIT Delhi. He's completed his PhD in civil engineering from Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, after which he worked as a postdoctoral researcher in the University of California, Los Angeles. He heads the M3RG and also holds a joint position in the Yardi School of Artificial Intelligence in IIT Delhi. In addition to this, he's also a trained classical musician who performs both Carnatic and Hindustani music. So maybe we will talk a little bit about AI in music also today with you, Mr. Ravi.
So before starting, I try to think, why are we here, right, in this specific panel discussion? We are talking about AI in education primarily because we are at the cusp of a revolution. I don't need to explain what ChatGPT is. All of you know what ChatGPT is. Everyone is using it, right? But what are some numbers that we should consider? India is 8th in terms of startups in AI with a total revenue of more than $8 billion. We are 26th, however, in AI readiness. And this is why I need to address directly to the students, you are the future of the country. And jobs are not going to go away. In fact, we have lots and lots of jobs coming in just because of AI, right? For example, one of the survey by International Monetary Fund revealed that 67% of all jobs have exposure to AI. What it means is that every single job among the 67% can be somehow enhanced by the use of AI. For example, AI-human coexistence that we have been talking about. Writing emails will become faster. Responding to email will become faster. Drafting letters will become faster. And many such things can become significantly faster if we use this. So I think we need to collectively put a lot of effort towards building a strong AI pool in India, because we do have the potential, for example, to build the next OpenAI from India if we want. It's just that we need to have enough proficiency in AI. And if you look at in terms of the growth curve, India has one of the highest growth curves in terms of AI startups. And among all the G20 nations, India is proposed to have 3 times more proficiency in AI than any other country. So, so that's why I want to re-emphasize that we are sitting at the cusp of a revolution, and the actions that we take today are going to determine the future of our country in terms of AI in specific and overall technology in general. So I think we will get into the details of this more, but I just wanted to share this thought with you students that AI is not just about AI itself, right? So there was an excerpt about human intelligence. And this is, I think, that's going to be most crucial. For example, if you are a mechanical engineer, study mechanical engineering plus AI. If you are a humanities person, study humanities plus AI. If you're a musician, study music plus AI. So if you can understand and leverage the use of AI in your particular discipline and domain, and you can be, really successful in leveraging its capabilities. And we have some sitting examples here on the dais who have actually managed to do it in social media. So with this, I look forward to this engaging panel discussion with all the eminent members. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I invite Shri Ravi Prakash Ji to felicitate Professor N.M. Anup Krishnan. I also invite Commodore Harsha. Harsha ji, please can you come and felicitate Rajesh ji, our moderator. Thank you, Commodore Harsha.
Let's begin the panel discussion, if you will, by setting the stage so that all of us are on the same page on what is AI. 10 years ago, when the cloud came in, everybody came in and said, everything is cloud. Wherever you go, it's cloud, cloud, cloud. And then you don't know what cloud is and what cloud is not. Today, it has reached the point where everything is AI and we don't know what is the difference. So, may I request first Professor Ramakrishnan to speak about various conflicting terms that are there. Artificial intelligence, machine learning, data science, rule-based algorithm. We hear so many things and we don't know what is what, Professor. If you can just help us understand and set context.
I must acknowledge that I am not an expert. I told you about 3 levels. People who design original algorithms, people use algorithms for building systems. So I am the second side. So in any case, see, whenever something becomes the in thing, everybody claims that whatever they are doing is AI. So I know some companies which sell good products, but they have no AI element, but they claim that it is all AI. Because today that is what will sell. They feel that people will think that they are using the latest technology. So in general, like Professor Sashikumar said, artificial intelligence is you train the system to do specific tasks. See, in my opinion, the artificial will never equal natural intelligence, because simultaneously you can recognize speech, you can speak, you can learn multiple languages, you can translate within the whatever languages we know, but usually artificial intelligence do any one of them. And they require huge amount of data that is very specific, and if that data, if it is corrupted, whatever the artificial intelligence system says also will be corrupted. So people are talking about the biases in the artificial intelligence systems. So what is AI is a computing system where you have given a lot of what we call annotated data. Suppose, it has to recognize speech. So you give huge companies like Google now use 10,000 or more hours of speech in a particular language, and the corresponding text is given from which the system learns how to automatically recognize this. But if that training does not include a particular word, it will not be able to handle that. And in today's system, it will not be able to say even that I don't know this. So there are certain limitations, but given that today, like I said, they have extremely very high power because there are very powerful computing systems, and they also consume a lot of electric energy, which is a concern. So an artificial intelligence system is basically fed by human intelligence in terms of the algorithms, in terms of how we should think, in terms of how we should learn, in terms of how we should respond. So if something is left out in the design, it will lack that particular part. That is artificial intelligence. So what is not artificial intelligence? There are many things that things do. See, before the invent of the artificial intelligence, there were very good plane technology, aeroplanes were going, and when it is in level flight, you can make it auto, and then it just goes as long as there is no other problem. So that does not have much of artificial. It doesn't have to think. It just has to maintain. Or when you put your car on a highway on an auto mode. So many of them, they don't have to do a lot of thinking and respond based on the input. So artificial intelligence is basically when there is an input, you have to make some decisions based on that and act. That's what, according to artificial intelligence. What else you wanted me to talk about?
Thank you, Professor. The same question, perhaps we can take one more perspective from Professor Shashi Kumar.
Yeah, so as Rajesh already pointed out, one more version, right? If you look at the textbook or anywhere, right, there is no textbook definition for artificial intelligence and no textbook definition for what is machine learning and data science, right? So I call, right, all these definitions are working definitions. The reason is, right, because we want to understand, it's all about the perspective, how we understand. Right? Yeah. So it's all about, like, all these definitions, what you see about the artificial intelligence, machine learning, and as well as the data science are all no textbook definitions, more of a working definition. To start with, right, what is artificial intelligence? When you talk about the artificial intelligence, then we have to understand a little bit about the human intelligence, what we want to mimic, right? So human intelligence, when you talk about it, it's all about like it's a different facet, right? So we talk about like the person is smart, right? Able to make decisions quick, right? It's all about, right? When you talk about the artificial intelligence, you take a decisions wisely, innovatively, right? It's more about like a decision making, right? That's where artificial intelligence comes into the picture. So what to do, what not to do, when to do, how to do, right? This is where the artificial intelligence comes into the picture. Okay, then what is machine learning? That machine learning is something like, if I do something, what would happen, right? So who is going to give the scenario? So if I take this route, when will I reach there? Who will provide this answer? This answer will be provided by the machine learning. So machine learning is nothing but like methods or any other software, but only difference is we don't really code the task. I take a simple example, right? Because you are a school kids. You know the formula to convert the Fahrenheit to the Celsius, right? The temperature from the Fahrenheit to the Celsius. And if you want to convert that, right, then you know the formulas. And you write a code to execute, right? Input form F, right? And then write what it be the output C, right? That's a coded, it's a programmed way of finding the answer. Instead, what would happen? I know that Fahrenheit and the corresponding Celsius, maybe for the 100 data points. Using this data set, can I find this formula, right? So machine learning is always about finding the relation between the features in the technological term or otherwise the input, right, in our term, right, in the student's term. It's finding the relation between the input to the output. So this is all about the ML training and then ML model. when we have this machine learning model, right, then we talk about the scenario. If I take this route, how long it's going to take? Example, Google route, right? Google Maps, when you talk about it, how is it calculating alternate routes? So those type of learning, understanding the relation between the input and output, that learning happened by the machine learning. It's yet another, like the numerical method, you can call it as. And these machine learning systems or machine learning algorithms provides input to the artificial intelligence to take a decision, right? So whether to take this route or not, okay, check all the 4 options using the ML algorithm, when will we reach? Based on that, okay, I take a decision, okay, you choose this route. The decision making is more of an artificial intelligence, whereas who provides those scenarios are the machine learning algorithms. Where comes the data science? Data science is a degree, right? It's like an MBA, right? Civil engineering. So you really have like lot of subjects in it. It's having like a machine learning, deep learning, data engineering, federated learning, right? Multiple subjects involved in it. That's where the data science comes into the picture. So data science is a degree, where machine learning is a numerical method, right? Where it can generate or it finds the relation between the input and output and gives you the scenarios. Whereas artificial intelligence uses these technologies, these subjects, and make a decision and build a human-like activities. That's my working definition for artificial intelligence, machine learning, and data science.
It's very interesting. Given an input and a formula, calculating output is what we are used to. Given an input and an output, calculating the formula. It's a very interesting way of looking at this. But as I heard Professor Sashi speaking, he spoke of so many terms, it can become daunting for the student, even the teacher, the educators, everybody here. So may I ask you, Professor Anup, how should a student approach the process of starting to learn AI?
So this is an interesting question, and one that resonates very closely with me, because I started learning only 6 years back. So I would take the analogy of Professor Ramakrishnan a bit forward. Let us say I want to drive a car. I don't need to know how an internal combustion engine works. I don't need to know when I press this button, how this water is coming from inside. I just need to know when the water gets over, I need to fill. When the petrol is over, I need to fill. This is what I need to know, right? And in today's world, a lot of AI that we see around ChatGPT and many other tools that's present is along this line. So personally, I feel the easiest way to get started with AI is to be motivated by a real problem, right? What is a problem? Now, I can give you an example of this water bottle, okay? I drop this water bottle. I know at what pace my hand should move so that I can catch it again. Now, can a computer do this? Any answer from the audience? Can a computer do this? That when I drop this water bottle, how should I move my hand so that, a robotic arm should be able to catch it? Is it possible? It is a very, very, very challenging problem. And we have just reached at the stage where a robot can perhaps catch maybe 3 or 4 out of 10 times. Now, even more interesting is, if I leave my hand, how will the water bottle fall? Can an AI system predict that? As of now, no AI system can predict when I leave my water bottle, how will it fall on the ground. But as a student, you would say, yeah, of course, it will fall here. But an AI system, as of today, cannot, without seeing this water bottle falling, 10,000 or 1,000,000 times. If it sees it falling 10,000 or 1,000,000 times, it understands. But you take it to a kid. The kid, without seeing a water bottle falling, will say, yeah, of course, if it falls, it will, hit the ground. So what I'm trying to say is, technologically, we have a lot to progress in AI. There are a lot of challenges that we need to solve. But the easiest way as a student to get started is to be motivated by simple problems around you, and then start asking the question, how can I build a model for this that can learn this particular, phenomenon? For instance, I know if I tell you that, multiplication tables, I give you 3, you will tell the 4th one automatically. Can you make a machine learn this? can we code it? So how many of you are familiar with Python? You have heard the word Python? Oh my God. You have heard it more than me, I guess. At this age, I had no idea about, the first time I touched a computer was when I started my BTech. So you have all been exposed to computers and Python programming much earlier. So I would say the first way is to deal it like a car. How would you drive a car? The same way, take simple problems, get familiar with the tools, and then see how you can play around with it. Then if you really feel it's interesting, go to the second part, which is building the internal combustion engine. And that requires a lot of technical knowledge, right? You need to have a lot of mathematical background and everything. But to use AI, you don't need it yet. So I would say this would be the first starting point that all of you can take as an inspiration to get started.
So pick a real life problem that you have and find ways to use AI to solve it. And that is just what Mr. Ravi has been doing. He has found a real life problem of how do I reach education to areas which are resource scarce, and how do I bridge the problem of teacher shortages in all of these places, a real life problem, and he is using AI to solve it. How?
Thank you. So eVidyaloka was born 13 years ago, much before COVID. So we know about online education thanks to COVID, but we started it 13 years ago. And we wanted to focus on two problems that this country faces. One, shortage of teachers, which even today is about 1.7 million teachers shortage. And second, quality of learning experience. So how can I get good quality teachers to teach our children in remote locations? How many people from the city want to go sit in a village and teach? And there weren't many. So, which is why we thought of, can we get this online? And we started with building our own platform so that we know who all attends our classes. And we were part of the timetable of government schools. And we started with that, and we started teaching on Skype. No AI, purely just all the technology systems that were available at that point in time. And today, after 13 years, we've realized we have reached only 625 schools across 14 states. We are educating 150,000 children, but there are millions of children who we are not even reaching. So when we estimated how many eVidyalokas we need to solve the problem, it came to around 33,000. So we need 33,000 more eVidyalokas to solve the problem. So we're wondering, how do we do this? So our next step went into investing in our platform to make it more robust. Today, it's a digital public good. And anyone who wants to start an eVidyaloka anywhere in the world can do that, can take our platform for free and start working on it. But what we said was, hey, can I get a Professor Anup Krishnan here to teach our children in the villages, sitting in Delhi, but not just one school, one Professor Anup to one school, but one Professor Anup to 10,000 schools, maybe. Correct? So how do we do that? That's the problem that is in front of us that we are trying to solve. Because we are today teaching in, say, 7 languages, and I'm sure in the next 3-4 years we'll be teaching in around 15 to 16 languages. So when our Prime Minister spoke in Hindi and it got translated into Tamil, I was excited because I am just waiting for Professor Anup Krishnan to speak in Tamil, and then it gets translated into Hindi, into Odia, into Kannada, into Telugu, all the languages simultaneously as he speaks, so that we can reach thousands and thousands of children. Now this is where artificial intelligence will come in. We have not yet cracked the problem. but we have started getting into the algorithms based for that. The challenge that we are facing, and I am going to leave it open to some of my good friends on the dais here, is that if 10,000 children in those 10,000 schools decide to ask Professor Anup a question at the same time in, say, 20 different languages, and they're all coming to him, how is he going to answer those questions? And we don't know that yet. So I'm sure we'll find an answer. And that answer may be sitting somewhere here, for all you know, or maybe here. So I'm looking forward to get those answers. There are others who have put their work into education. And maybe I'll cover that off later once you ask the other questions.
Thank you, Mr. Ravi. And a similar problem of reaching more has been solved in a very interesting way by Mr. Roland and Dr. Petra. They have taken their content in German on YouTube and already translated it out into 7 different languages, immediately expanding their reach far more than what their natural language skills will permit. Mr. Roland and Dr. Petra, can you talk to us a little bit about how you manage this and how it is working?
Okay. I would like to answer 2 levels. Level 1 for the scholars and students which are here, who are here. And I don't have a real future job for you, but I have something very important for you. Because when you learn AI, you sit and you do the same movement in the same position of the body. And if you don't do anything against it, you will get back pain and knee pain and shoulder and neck and something else. Maybe you know that. But now we have the possibility, because in English the channel exists. If you go on YouTube and you choose the German pain specialists, then we are at the first place. Please do that, and then look at these exercises, and you will find for every single problem of you a solution. Try it, and in many cases you will benefit from it. First level. Second level, I have some wishes for you, to you. Yeah, please do that for me, because in the moment it's like this. Maybe, for example, in the English channel, there is this AI translation, but the different languages, they have different length. And in the moment it's like this. The AI translates very, very good, yeah, but then it's like this. At first, okay, I explain, and then why? Because this language needs longer. Please solve this problem, because the people think I'm a little bit stupid. Yeah, and nobody knows what I have to say. First thing. Second thing, in the moment, it's not possible the synchronicity of the lips. When I'm with my full body on the desktop, yeah, for example, on the mobile, yeah, and that's not so fine, because the people see. If you go there, you will realize it, that my words and the movement of my lips is not synchron. Second thing to do, please. Next thing, in the moment we are like this, that sometimes I have to do different videos to explain some things, and every word is very important, but it's 5 to 10 minutes, and it's not possible to make it out of the head. And also to read this thing before the camera, the people, they check that I'm reading. But they made a clone of my voice. No, not a clone. How's the name? Avatar. Avatar of my voice and an avatar of my face. It's a US program, as I think. And when I come back to Germany, maybe it's possible, I write the text very well formulated, yeah, also with the right words. And then I give this Word document to my guys, to my girls, whatever. And then the AI transcribes it, is a word for it maybe, to my head, synchronicity of the lips, and everything is fine. But it's only possible when only my head is in the picture. The full body, not yet. Please do that for me. Yeah? And the next thing, if you want to have more work, the next thing is the people, I explain the exercises, I show it, and they at home, in their room, they can do the exercises. But I can't see what they are doing. Maybe they make a fault. Maybe it's not correct. And if it's not correct, it's not so good in function. Would be very good if the camera on the handy or of the laptop shows the picture and the AI, which I explained before, I don't know how, but maybe it's working. Please have a look that the leg is in this angle and the hand is in this angle. And if not, some meep, or something like this, yeah? And then explain what to do. That would be so great. Thanks a lot for this.
I think this is interesting because now Professor Ramakrishnan spoke of the three levels, right? The people who are building the algorithms, second, the people who are using the algorithms. Now let's just stop there. Mr. Roland belongs to the category number 2, where he is using the algorithm, and it's that give and take of people who are using the algorithm and they throw up challenges saying, hey, this is not happening, I'm not able to do this. And then the people in the first layer have to sort of pick it up and say, okay, how do we make it happen? Today we know about AI as, and this is a question for you, Professor Shashi, that people, when we say AI, today it has become generative AI largely. It has become ChatGPT as synonymous with AI. But I'm sure there are many other forms of AI. The speech part that Mr. Roland spoke of, the video sync, where exactly, what are the different modal areas in which AI is functioning today? What is the level of evolution of each of these stages? Could you shed some light on this?
So when you talk about the evolution or the history of AI, right? The history of AI, when you talk about it, it's not really new field. In fact, the AI, the term coined somewhere in the 1950s. Whether you believe it or not, you can go and check when was this AI field has started, right? It's in 1950s. And even at the time, it was expected that in 20 years, that means by 1970, the AI system can do whatever the human being can do. This was the prediction, right? Or at least the expectation at the time. It did not happen. So when you talk about the AI, as I mentioned, right, AI is decision making, right? And also to build a system which behaves and acts like a human being. So in order to act like and behaves and take decision like a human being, the core components were missing those days. What are the core components? The knowledge, experience, expertise, right? These topics were missing. And these topics were now provided by the machine learning. And the machine learning, in order to build the machine learning, we need the data to build, right? So since you are in the school kids, and I don't consider you school kids because almost everyone is expert in Python programming already. For example, if your younger sibling is getting 2 biscuits and the elder sibling is getting 4 biscuits, right? Then how many biscuits you should get? So elder one, your younger brother, is getting 2 biscuits and the elder one is getting 4 biscuits. What's an expectation that how many biscuits you should get? Of course, your expectation will be 5, but the actual is, right, we want to have like the 3, right? 3 is like, younger one is getting 2 and then elder one is getting 4. I will be getting like a 3 or in between, right? It is all about the machine learning, right? So we want the machine to predict this. It's all about, the machine learning is all about, right? You take the data and then train the model to understand what is the connection between that input and the output. Again, input and output coming here, right? So the idea here is how, using this data, how can I build the scenarios? When I come to the ChatGPT, right? So ChatGPT is one of the machine learning models, right? It's a language, large language models. How the ChatGPT, of course, everyone knows like the use of ChatGPT, and then Bard, there are many other large language models. The ChatGPT is also one of the machine learning models. How it has been built? There are large corpus of libraries, data that has been taken, right? Wikipedia, maybe 10 times of Wikipedia data has been used to train the model to predict, if I have this word, what could be the next word, right? It's all about the prediction, predicting the next word. And how can, this again, it's like in English, right? So you learn something, and then you are expecting when you want to translate or you want to generate, write a speech and so on, okay, I'm using this word, what could be the next word? It's all about the practice. So it's all about the predicting the next word. The ChatGPT is exactly the same way, right? It's predicting the next word. So ChatGPT is one of the applications of machine learning, and it is used in to build the AI system. But when you talk about the applications of machine learning AI, right, it goes beyond the language, that translation and so on. You talk about the weather predictions, you talk about the autonomous driving, you talk about the political scenarios, so understand the people's sentiments, right? There are multiple ways of looking at it, how the AI, machine learning and AI together can be leveraged to understand, to find the relationship, right? It's all about, it's the practical problem, how can I find the solution efficiently? So machine learning and AI is not only about ChatGPT, ChatGPT is one of the applications.
Like this change in thought process, we know input and formula, we compute output. Now you're saying machines do input and output and then they figure out the formula. Teachers till date have been teaching a particular way. As a teacher, and there are many teachers in our audience today, as a teacher, how do they need to adapt teaching styles to work with artificial intelligence? Professor Anup, perhaps you could shed some light on this.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is an interesting question for which we are all trying to find an answer, right? For instance, we used to give a lot of assignments on, write about different things, but now students come with very crisp and clean answer to this, and we know where it has come from, right? So I think there has to be a paradigm shift in thinking of teachers. For example, when we had no PPT, PowerPoint, the way of teaching was very different. You have to go to the board and chalk and then, write a lot of things. And when PowerPoint came, that changed. So what changed? Now when I talk about a bridge, I can actually show a bridge, the picture of a bridge, and say, this is the bridge. The same way, now when we go to the ChatGPT era, the era of mundane questions where it is purely based on recall, wherein you ask a question, the student just need to memorize it and answer, those questions are gone. The questions that in fact we did this, an interesting experiment. What we did was we collected 800 questions from GATE examination for material science last 10 years and asked ChatGPT all these questions and tried to get the answer. And the interesting outcome was that every question based on recall. For example, what is the major component, what is the major element in steel? It'll say iron. It's a recall-based question. You don't need to have an intelligence to understand the major component of steel is iron, right? Those questions were answered correctly, whereas questions that needed reasoning and grounding on reality were not answered correctly. So I think this is a new challenge for teachers also. We cannot now take last year's question and ask the same question again to students, or we cannot even ask questions that simply requires recall. We need to rethink about the questions that we are asking, and that requires our intelligence to push our own limits. So from that perspective, I think it's a good development that we are pushing our own limits. Students will also be pushing our own limits, and we are moving away from the mundane towards more and more challenging aspects while even thinking about teaching.
Mr. Ravi, you had earlier spoken about the 4 Ps. It seems like a very fascinating concept, something that people might want to take back. In the context, can you apply the 4 Ps in the context of the impact it might have on jobs? People are concerned about what happens to jobs. You touched on the subject of jobs in your initial 2 minutes also. Would you like to speak a little bit more about what do you see the impact of AI on job creation and the type of jobs that might go away? and how it all intersect with the 4P framework that you have?
That's a difficult one, actually. But let me take a shot at it. What is needed, and the kind of jobs that will get created and other things are very much based on what Professor Anup just talked about in terms of what sort of skills the people will need in future as we look at it. As we speak, there is a company called Guru, Guru.com. It's a company which provides education and self-learning to options to children as well as to teachers. So it's developed by an Indian who was part of the team which developed Google Maps. So most of you know Google Maps, correct? So I'm here and I want to get there somewhere, correct? Wherever you're going. The same concept is based over here. So let's say a child gets into grade 8 from grade 7. Guru, and let's say he's in CBSE school. Guru will ask him 10 questions on each subject, and figure out where he is in those subjects. If he's got past 7th grade and into 8th grade, he should have a certain level of knowledge. And Guru will recognize that by asking these questions. And then it will say, hey, you're here. And when you pass out from 8th grade, you have to be here. And from here to here, these are the 20 things that you will need to do to get past 8th grade. And it will give him a learning path. And that learning path will go with this. I mean, of course, you will achieve this learning path based on the speed. But what it does to the teacher, which is even more important, so this is personalized learning, correct? So because everyone will have their own learning path based on where they are. For example, when he asked the question Python, correct? How many of you know Python? And when my daughter spoke to me about I'm learning Python, the only thing that came to my head was a huge snake. So each one of us, and from there I had to understand that it's a computer language. So each one of us will have a learning path. Now this learning path is personalized. Now just imagine a teacher who's got 30 children in her classroom, 30 learning paths which are there, and she's not teaching to a classroom at a general level, but addressing what each of those 30 learning paths need. So the teaching will become more and more personalized. The teaching will become more system-driven, combined with personalization. And I think that is where the skills will have to start changing for people, and I'm talking in the education industry. One more very interesting thing that has been done by another company called Alt School in the US. They created a school where they said it's completely based on artificial intelligence. Again, a person from Google, he had set this up. And this school has where the child, as soon as the child walks in, picks up his or her tablet and keys and logs in, the system knows, okay, what was the last lesson that this child learned? Where is she? Which standard is she? What is the next session I should do for her? So what he did was he combined classes. So he had 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. So let's take a situation where 7th, 8th, 9th children go to the classroom and there is one teacher who's actually a facilitator. Everyone logs in to their computer and they are listening to what the computer is saying. She wants to introduce, let's say, physics chapter on light to the 8th standard children. So she'll call the 8th standard children separately. She gives a 15-minute lecture on that particular topic, and then they go back to the computer and start learning. And the computer throws 5 questions at them, And based on where they are in that topic, the computer starts taking them to the next level. And progressive questions are asked, and based on the learning, the child progresses. If it is stuck somewhere, child will just ask for help. The teacher comes and says, okay, you're stuck here, and I'll give you some clarification on this. So the teacher's role has changed from, instead of lecturing for the whole class, has changed into a role of a facilitator. So who are the teachers who will survive? One, those who really love the subject. If you don't love the subject, you're in trouble. Two, those who love children. Because if you don't love children, you will not empathize with the need. Third, those who can leverage technology, AI, whichever way you want to, and who can leverage that for bettering their reach to the child. So you become a facilitator, you don't teach. You become more of a facilitator. What kind of jobs will exist? That was already spoken. Can you learn English plus AI? Can you learn physics plus AI? Can you learn health sciences plus AI? Can you learn whatever, correct? With AI. AI will become very pervasive. It will exist in every aspect of every job. Can you learn dance plus AI as well? And I think that's where the kind of jobs will start morphing. What you learn will have a bit of technology built into everything that you learn, and how you apply technology to your knowledge of that domain is what will happen and drive.
That's brilliant. I think the point that is resonating again and again is whatever you want to do, whatever you like to do, plus AI is the way things are expected to move forward. That's wonderful. I think at this point, I want to open the floor out to a few students who had some questions. Any students with questions?
Namaste everybody, I am HS Ganesh Karthikeyan. I am studying grade 10, SSRVM JP Nagar. So sir, my question to you is that now AI is booming. We know in a decade or so AI will boom. And then now computer science is the base. It is like a parent for the son or the offspring, which is AI. So is it right for us to choose and learn more about AI now, or after a decade or so when AI is booming, when AI is ruling the world, we should choose and learn about AI then, or we should take a base of computer science now?
Who would like to take that?
Okay, first of all, right, I want to correct it, right? AI is not going to rule the world, right? Still human beings are going to rule the world, because no intelligence, if it's really an intelligent person, right, never ever thinking or thought of like conquering and controlling the world. So if it is a true artificial intelligence system, will never going to rule the world, it's going to facilitate, right? So when you talk about the computer science, right? Computer science is one of the subjects to learn about how to develop algorithms. But what algorithm do you want to really develop? That's where the subject expertise comes into the picture. If at all you want to build an artificial intelligence, for example, if you're an interior person, I want to build an algorithm artificial AI-based tool to design, to make an interior design, then first you really need to learn the interior designing. Then you can think of like people who can convert your ideas into an algorithm into a tool. So artificial intelligence, right, not just about the computer science. Computer science facilitates to convert your human intelligence into an artificial intelligence. So if at all you want to build a world fastest or the biggest artificial intelligence system or the popular artificial intelligence systems, then you must have a subject matter expertise. Unless otherwise you have the subject matter expertise, you cannot build an artificial intelligence system. So computer science, you don't need to have a mad rush to the computer science. It's only facilitate. It helps to convert your ideas into AI system, right? So if you're, and also if you look at the top people, those who have built the AI system in today's world, right? they never studied artificial intelligence in their BTech or in their schooling days, right? So you no need to study artificial intelligence as a subject at the school level, right? Full-fledged. I'm talking about you should not, but you just focus on the other subjects as the foundations so that you will be able to build over a period of time. Don't need to mad rush into the computer science alone. That's my take.
That's one point of view, that focus on your core disciplines, no need to start AI. Is there a counter view to this in the panel, that we need to start AI or anything preparatory to that right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily counter, but I just wanted to add one very important point. Once Noam Chomsky, who is a very well-known, person, was asked, you see, he was working a lot in languages, and he was asked a question, see, now computer is coming up. Do you think we should pivot to computer and stop languages? And then he answered the question, why should I pivot? I love languages and I love what I'm doing. Right? So I think you should never wait for a field to boom to pivot to that field. You should choose the field that is of your interest and be passionate about it. But at the same time, you should make sure that you are not lagging behind in terms of technology. So that's the reason why I was saying that when is the right time to start AI? Start it at any point of time that you're interested in. But do you want to take this up as a career for you? That's a choice that you have to make. So choose the field. I mean, don't worry about computer science, mechanical, or anything. Choose whatever field you are interested in, whether it is music, whether it is medicine, whatever you are passionate about, take it. But parallelly have a training in AI so that you can ultimately connect these multiple fields together and use it to the best of your knowledge. Yeah.
Do we have time for more questions? One more question. A question to Dr. Petra. There are aspiring doctors here among the students. How do you propose they should incorporate AI and these kind of technologies into their medicine?
Thanks a lot. I'm so happy that you asked me this question, because there are such a lot of young people here and they may be searching for a good job. And I think it's a little bit the same like being a good teacher, being a good doctor. And what I can say about my profession, it is really, I love my profession, I love my passion, and for this I know that it's good to maybe to study health, but on the one side, AI is also very necessary for being a doctor, because it's good for diagnostic. For example, if you have some diseases on the skin, it's so easy to have a look and you are sure what it is. For the evaluation of MRI, it's so easy, it's exactly. And also for blood diagnostic, you are so more quicker and safer for the results. These are all the good part of the AI. But on the other hand, I really know it, that sick people or people with illnesses, they need really a doctor, a relationship to them, a true relationship. The doctor has to believe in his patient and to believe that he can heal again, who gives the patient hope and can show them natural path to recovery based on his own experience. In the future, I think a doctor will increasingly have the task of being a role model for his patients. So no more chance for smoking doctors, for example. And it should show how important health is for happiness and contented life. This means they will be able to fulfill his true calling as a doctor again, because our true task was to show the people how they can stay healthy, and they can do it by explaining him, by showing him, by himself how it is possible. For me, nutrition, you know it already, plays one of the biggest role and movements for sure here, and that is why I have specialized in nutritional medicine and intermittent fasting for over 40 years. And I think if you choose being a medical doctor, you feel also your specific part in this rule of medicine. And even if you are very interested in IA, you can work 100% in IA. But if you love people and if you want to be for them with your heart, with your soul, with your mindset, it's need, and it would need for the rest of the time. People will live, I am sure, and we need really this kind of doctors. This I know, and this I can promise you. And therefore, thanks that you listen to my words, and thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Petra. Before I summarize and we end the panel discussion, may I ask Professor Ramakrishnan to share one key takeaway from his perspective.
Thank you. So I just want to address this is slightly away from AI. Of course, AI is important, but Ravi was talking about the lack of sufficient teachers and how when 10,000 schools will listen to that, and how will the teacher be able to respond. So we can never get rid of good teachers. And why are people who love teaching are not in schools? Because they are not paid as much as AI person or a computer scientist is paid. And for this, I have a solution. Hopefully, if people like Gurudev, Shri Ravi Shankar talks to our beloved PM and says that the school education is the most important for the future of our country and the world, invest 10 times this, so there should be no school without teachers, there should be no schools without this thing, and we can create a fund where if we donate money, 100% tax rebate will be there, and that money will be transparently used for school education. I think we can solve many of these problems. Thank you.
Let me summarize my takeaways for everybody's benefit. We spoke of human intelligence plus artificial intelligence, and we also spoke about how AI is not going to replace anything, it is just going to supplement. So as students, pursue your passion, but do not ignore AI or any emerging technology developments. Use that in the pursuit of your passion. With that, we will close the panel. I thank all the panelists for joining me today. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much. Thank you to all the panelists. So I would now request the awardees to proceed to the conference room to meet SSRVM Chairman Commodore Harshaji and Jainaji, SSRVM Trustee. I'm sure you are all hungry. The students and teachers can proceed to Annapurna Kitchen for lunch.